Today's lesson is called The Doctor is in a Computer. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're talking about medical doctors, but doctors that aren't humans, okay? They're actually machines. So, yeah, the title of our article for today is The Doctor is in a Computer. Interesting. Of course, sometimes when we want to go see the doctor, they need to let us know if they're actually there seeing patients or not. And sometimes, I guess many years ago, they would put a sign on the door that would say, the doctor is in or the doctor is out. If the doctor's out on a house call or something, you're going to have to wait or come back another day. But in this particular case, the doctor is in actually a computer. So, yes, not an actual human doctor. It's a cyber doctor.
So the doctor is in, sure, he's in the office, in the clinic, in the hospital, ready to work, sure, but maybe the doctor in the future won't be a flesh and blood doctor. It might either be AI, or you might be talking to the doctor over the internet or something like that, and AI will help out in some way. I believe they call that telemedicine. Anyways, folks, let's go ahead and get started with our lesson. We'll start to do so right after this.
The Doctor is in a Computer. Stories about robots and artificial intelligence often emphasize the superiority of steel muscles and electronic brains over our own. Such stories speak to our fears that one day these machines may replace humans. However, in the real world, robots and artificial intelligence are doing a lot of good work to help extend and improve our lives.
大家好，第一部分我们看到单字 superiority 这个字可以是名词，意思是优越性、优势。例如 several countries in the region are trying to gain military superiority 这区的一些国家试图取得军事优势。另外补充这个字的反义词 inferiority 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 指劣势、自卑感，像是 Andy had a strong feeling of inferiority when he was little. Andy 小时候有强烈的自卑感。
All right, let's talk about the contents of the first part of today's lesson. The doctor is in a computer. Now, stories about robots and artificial intelligence, or AI, often emphasize the superiority of steel muscles and electronic brains over our own. So, yeah, when we talk about robots and AI and stuff like that, it seems like they always put special emphasis on the fact that these machines have really strong steel muscles. They are superior to human muscles. So when something is superior or better than something, we talk about superiority, okay? Here's a demonstration of my superiority. I will destroy you with a flick of my wrist. But in this particular case, yeah, we talk about these machines being so much stronger than humans. If we have these robots, hey, they're going to beat us up and kill us all because they're so strong.
Or something like that. But yes, superiority. That's when you feel, in some situations, that you're better than someone else. Like in college, there was a kid. His name was Franklin Langham. I'll never forget him. He used to walk around like he was better than everybody else. Like he owned the department, owned the university or something like that. I don't know where he got his sense of superiority, but he really felt like he was better than everybody else. Everybody else was below him. But I've got some bad news. As far as superiority is concerned, soon AI will, I should say, surpass humans in many ways. AI is already better at playing video games and chess and Go than we are, and soon AI will be doing other stuff that we used to do, and they'll just be doing it better than we can. Oh no. Now, one note right now, AI and robots, though, are two different things. Robots are the actual human-like entities that are made out of metal and can walk around and stuff like that. AI, that's more a computer program-like thing within a computer itself. So AI and robots, they haven't really mixed yet. No, there isn't that super smart robot that's walking around and doing stuff yet, but we're getting close. I've got a Roomba. The Roomba's better at sweeping the floor than my wife is. That would be a robot with a limited amount of intelligence. Anyways, though, yes, stories about robots. In science fiction, they always say that, yes, one day robots will be stronger and AI will be smarter than we are, and such stories speak to our fears that one day these machines may replace humans. There you go. I'm scared.
Yep, when they talk about AI or robots, they always talk about it whether they're going to take us over and destroy us all, or whether they're going to actually help us out. But yes, when we hear about these stories, they kind of play on our fears and make us afraid that, hey, they may take over someday and we'll be their slaves, just like the Terminator, you know, where the machines take over and humans are all slaves and things like that. However, in the real world, robots and artificial intelligence are doing a lot of good work to help extend and improve our lives. So those robots have not taken over the world yet. Right now, they're actually helping us out in a lot of different ways. They're doing a lot of good work for us, and they're also helping to extend our lives. To extend means to make something longer. Like if you're a traveler to Taiwan and you're on a 2-week travel visa and you've seen quite a few sites, but you think, hey, there's a lot more to see here. I want to extend my stay, or I want to extend my visa and travel for another 2 weeks. There's certainly a lot more things to see than just what can be seen in 2 weeks. So here, yeah, they're trying to extend our lives to make us live longer, and they also want to improve our lives so we don't get sick and we feel comfortable more often and have more fun.
Wow, robots and AI. Before I was scared, but now, you know what? My heart is warming rapidly. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a short break, everyone. But when we come back, we'll read some more from an article called "The Doctor is in a Computer."
One way robots can help is by preventing the spread of diseases. For example, in some restaurants in China, small robots are being used to deliver food. These machines carry dishes from the kitchen to the front of house, decreasing the need for human contact and thus the risk of infection by germs and viruses. On a larger scale, e-commerce company JD.com has been using autonomous delivery vehicles that look like tiny cars to carry medicine and supplies to hospitals in downtown Wuhan. Similarly, a startup in Shanghai is using robots within hospitals to disinfect isolation wards, intensive care units, and operating rooms.
第二部分我们看到名词 germ， 意思是细菌、病菌。例如 Marty is afraid of germs, so he washes his hands at least 10 times a day. Marty 很害怕病菌，所以他一天至少洗10次手。或是 You can't see germs, but they can still hurt you. 你看不见细菌，但它们仍能伤害你。另外补充一个相关片语 germ of something， 通常指发展成为巨大或重要事物的发端、发源、萌芽。我们可以说 This germ of an idea needs more modifications. 这个初步的想法需要进一步修正。接下来我们看到单字 autonomous， 这个字是形容词，指自主的、自制的。举例来说The autonomous robot vacuum can clean the floor by itself. 自动吸尘机器人可以自行清理地板。或是 Ukraine has been autonomous since the collapse of the Soviet Union. 乌克兰自苏联瓦解后就转为自治了。再来，我们看到一个单字 isolation， 这个字是名词，指隔离、孤独。例如 The prisoner was kept in isolation after he had been in a fight. 那名囚犯在打架后遭到隔离。或是 He couldn't stand the isolation of living alone on the island. 他无法忍受独自住在岛上的孤独。接着我们看到名词 ward， 意思是病房。我们可以说 My grandma was put in an isolation ward since her condition was worsening. 我的外婆住进隔离病房， 因为他的病情恶化了。另外补充一个相关片语 ward off 表示击退、避开、防止疾病、危险等。ward 在此做动词，指避开危险、威胁。举例来说 Melanie successfully warded off her attacker and escaped. Melanie 成功躲开攻击者后逃脱。
Okay, it's time to talk about the second part of our lesson for today. Now, one way robots can help is by preventing the spread of diseases. And that's a big issue, of course, because of the recent scare with the coronavirus. And maybe robots can step in and save us from ourselves. We have difficulty stopping these viruses ourselves. We, slow them down a little bit and we win eventually. But hey, maybe robots can prevent the spread of diseases in the first place. Maybe if robots were in charge, there never would have been the coronavirus to begin with.
So there you go. Robots can help by preventing the spread of diseases. I know for a long time there in the United States, a lot of places, I should say, in the United States were on lockdown. You couldn't leave your apartment. Well, that's a good thing to keep diseases from spreading. It's good for that reason. But how do things get around? How does food get delivered? How do people go and get groceries? Well, apparently robots could help out in situations like this. You could have robots perform simple tasks so you could stay at home and not spread the disease or help spread the disease. Yeah, robots can step in and do a lot of great stuff. Like, for example, in some restaurants in China, small robots are being used to deliver food. There you go. You don't need to send a delivery man from one house to another, possibly catching or spreading the disease. Just go ahead and send a small, simple robot to deliver food. That makes sense. Now, these machines carry dishes from the kitchen to the front of house, decreasing the need for human contact and thus the risk of infection by germs and viruses. So there you go. These robots are delivering food. A delivery person doesn't have to do this now, so everybody is going to be safer. One, the delivery man isn't going to come into contact with people and get sick in that way. And further, if that delivery man isn't going from house to house, there's no way that he or she can spread that disease around. Yay, robots. Yes, these machines are awesome. They're going to decrease the need for human contact and thus, or therefore, the risk of infection by germs and viruses. By the way, here we do have the verb decrease to talk about. Okay, if you increase something, you make that thing present in larger amounts. Before there wasn't so much, now there's a whole lot more. You have increased that thing. When you decrease something, you do the exact opposite. Where before you had a lot, now you don't have so much. That amount has shrunken, or you can say you have decreased that amount.
Yep, decrease as a verb, decrease as a noun. So, for example, I could say, due to the president's new policy, there has been a decrease in crime. Or I could also say, due to the president's new policy, crime has been decreasing. They basically mean the same thing, but the verb and noun forms have a slightly different pronunciation. So, of course, here, this will decrease the need for human contact if you have robots delivering food. And who knows, maybe robots will deliver food via Uber Eats or Food Panda, and hopefully the robot scooter drivers will ride a lot more safely than the current human ones do. But in any case here, yes, we want to decrease the need for human contact, and then we will not have germs and viruses spreading all over the place. We will reduce the risk of infection, which means we get the disease from somebody else. To infect is the verb, infection is the process. And yeah, we don't like virus infections or viral infections because we can get sick and have to miss work and maybe even die and stuff like that. And germs and viruses are similar. I think germs include both bacteria and viruses, whereas a virus is a specific entity, as is a bacterium.
Yeah, when I think of the word germ, I think of any small thing that if we get it, it'll make us sick, but we're not being specific. When you do say something like viruses, you're making it very clear that this is the thing that is giving you an infection or which is infecting you. It's actually a viral agent, a virus. Another note, bacteria and viruses are not the same thing. You can call both of them germs, but they're totally different types of organisms. Very often, when my wife gets a cold, okay, she's been told that she should ask the doctor for antibiotics. But colds are usually caused by viruses. I believe they're caused by rhinoviruses or something like that. So why take an antibacterial medication, an antibiotic, I should say? Why would you do that? Those are medications that kill bacteria. They have no effect on viruses whatsoever, so you shouldn't take that medicine. The medicine is not going to do you any good at all.
Okay, so these are some examples of how robots can help us. And on a larger scale, looking at society as a whole.
Get a big picture, yeah. A big picture view, yep.
Yep, according to the big picture, e-commerce company JD.com has been using autonomous delivery vehicles that look like tiny cars to carry medicine and supplies to hospitals in downtown Wuhan. Of course, this happened during the big outbreak of the coronavirus a couple of months ago. Hopefully it's cleared up by now. But in any case, this is an e-commerce company, which is basically a company that sells goods and services online. And this one's called JD.com. And they were using autonomous delivery vehicles. Autonomous means they're independent. They don't have people driving them. I suppose you could describe the Wenhu line in Taipei here, the brown line, as being autonomous. It doesn't have a driver.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's automatic. It takes care of itself. It drives itself. You don't have to have a driver in the actual vehicle. It's an automaton or an autonomous delivery vehicle in this particular situation. Now, similarly, a startup in Shanghai is using robots within hospitals to disinfect isolation wards, intensive care units, and operating rooms. So there you go. Why would you put a person in harm's way? Sure, you have to clean the isolation wards and the ICUs and the operating rooms, but why have a human do that when a robot can do that? The robot can't get sick, whereas a human being cleaning those rooms might get sick. They might contract the illness while cleaning those rooms. So there you go. Have a robot do it instead. Anyways, here we have the term startup. When I think of a startup, I think of Silicon Valley. I think of a small company that starts up. It just goes into business and they try to do something very quickly. Like there are many software startup companies there in Silicon Valley, and apparently there was a startup in Shanghai using these robots to clean hospitals and stuff like that.
Yeah, disinfect to kill all the germs. And these were in isolation wards. A ward, of course, is an area of a hospital, like the children's ward, for example, with the several rooms together. And isolation means they're separating everybody. And also in intensive care units, of course, if somebody's really sick, they get sent there. And also operating rooms or operating theaters where operations are performed or surgery is performed. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Let's move on now to the third part.
In the U.S. state of Washington, a robot was brought in to help treat the first American coronavirus patient. This robot takes the patient's vitals and facilitates communication between the patient and doctors via video. In this way, the robot minimizes contact between the patient and others, as well as reducing the spread of the highly contagious virus.
第三部分，我们看到单字 facilitate 这个字是动词，指促进、促使、便利。例如 This law could facilitate peace between our two countries. 这条法案可促进我们两国间的和平。接着我们看到一个单字 communication 这个字是名词，指沟通、交流。例如 Bonnie wants to take a course to improve her communication skills. Bonnie 想去上课来改善沟通能力。最后我们看到动词 minimize 指使减到最少，使降到最低。例如After the newspapers reported the scandal, The president tried to minimize the damage to his reputation. 报纸报道这起丑闻后，总统试图把对他名誉的伤害降到最低。
More on robots, everyone. I guess we'll talk about AI next time, but in the U.S. state of Washington, it says, a robot was brought in to help treat the first American coronavirus patient. So they knew that this person had the coronavirus, so instead of sending a doctor in there who might have gotten sick, you send in a robot instead. So here it says the robot was brought in, i.e., they used this robot or employed the robot to do this particular task.
Yeah, this robot takes the patient's vitals and facilitates communication between the patient and doctors via video. So, of course, when you go see the doctor, you need to have your vitals taken. You need to have your blood pressure measured, your heart rate, maybe your blood sugar levels or something like that. Those are your vitals, sometimes also referred to as your vital signs. The first readings that they get in the hospital, your pulse rate, your respiration rate, stuff like that.
Yeah, take my pulse. Check and see if my heart's all right. Check my breathing and stuff like that. This is what you do when you take someone's vitals as a doctor, but apparently it's the robot who's taking the vitals. Not only does the robot do that, but it also facilitates or makes possible or easier the communication there between the patient and then the doctor, which is actually done via video to keep the doctor safe. So there you go. It facilitates communication. It allows these two people to talk, or it makes it easier for them to do that.
And in this way, the robot minimizes contact between the patient and others, as well as reducing the spread of the highly contagious virus. So yeah, you don't want doctors talking to patients who are sick. You don't want them talking to each other directly, because you don't want the doctor infected. Then the doctor can't treat other patients, and then we've got a major pandemic on our hands. So yeah, if you want to minimize something, you want to make it as small as possible. The opposite, of course, would be maximize. But we want to minimize that contact, make it as small as possible so that we can stop the spread of germs and viruses and bacteria and all that stuff we hate. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Here comes our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分提到，在中国的一些餐厅里面，人们用小型机器人来送餐，把餐点从厨房带到外场，减少了人类接触的必要。那么文中用到 front of house， 这不是指房子前面哦，而是指外场大厅，像是餐厅的外场或者是剧院来提供观众使用的大厅。那这边还有一个单字是 decrease 来表达减少降低。好， decrease 它的字根 crease 有成长增加的语义。那它的字首第一表示相反，增加的相反那不就是减少减低了吗？好，那我们知道 decrease 的相反词是 increase， increase 的字首 in 是做强调用，然后刚刚说 crease 表示增加，强调那个增加合在一起 increase 就是增加的意思了。好，课文第三部分有提到说，在美国华盛顿州有一款机器人被引进来帮助治疗感染新型冠状病毒的病患。那么机器人让病人和其他人的接触降到最低。这边用到一个单字是 minimize， minimize 它表示使什么减到最少，使什么降到最低。其实这个字是跟 minimum 有关的，我们来学 minimum 它的字根 MINI， 像这个字根呢，它带有小的意思，像很多小巧的东西我们都会在前面加上 mini MINI 嘛，像 mini skirt 迷你裙， mini bus 小巴小型巴士等等。好，那在 minimum 这个字当中 MINIM 表示小， UM 表示最高级的形容词字尾，把它合在一起 minimum 就表示最小量，最低限度，最小值。那它也可以当形容词来描述说它是最小的或是最低的。我们顺便再补充几个有这一类字根的单字，像第一个 minimal M-I-N-I-M-A-L 它的字根 M-I-N-I-M 表示小 A-L 是形容词字尾合在一起 minimal 就是形容极少的最小限度的。好，那么第二个Miniature 它的拼法是 M-I-N-I-A-T-U-R-E 那它的字根 mini 它表示微小的，那么 A-T-E 是动词字尾后面再搭配 U-R-E 名词字尾合在一起 Miniature 它当形容词就是形容微型的小型的，还可以当名词来表达袖珍化小型物品。好，那么第三个是 Diminish D-I-M-I-N-I-S-H它的字首 di 是源自于 de 的变形，在这边表示完全，用来做强调用。那么字根 min 表示小 ish 是动词字尾，那合在一起 diminish 就表示减少、缩减、降低，意思就会跟 decrease 或者是 lessen、reduce 差不多。那最后补充的是 minister 这个字，它的字根 mini 表示小的，那么 ster 表示人，小的人，这是什么意思啊？好，这个字呢，它可以指地位低下的人，就是仆人、侍者。后来这个字是被借来指大臣，那大臣就好像是帝王的侍者一样嘛，所以应该可以联想到 minister 它有大臣、部长的意思。那么以上今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Extend. Let's change the date of our return flight so we can extend our time here. Decrease. The number of tourists coming to this area has decreased over the past few years. Infection. According to the test results, the patient has a viral infection. Germ. If you don't stay home when you're sick, you'll expose everyone else to your germs. Isolation.
The isolation of our mountain cabin makes it the perfect getaway.
Ward. Tommy's mom works at the hospital as a nurse in the cancer ward. Vitals.
A doctor came into the room to check the patient's vitals.
Communication. Animals have many different methods of communication, including by sound and touch.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.